Hey, this is just Ben on the front end, here to tell you to give the podcast a rating if you don't mind, and follow it or subscribe to it on whatever you're listening to this on. If you want to send us an email, we'll read it and maybe talk about it on the show. It's deadensigns@gmail.com, and we got a Twitter. Anyway, if you could do all that, please. That'd be really nice. Bye, enjoy the show.
Simon & Schuster AudioWorks presents Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Max, I made biscuits on Saturday.
Wait, biscuits?
Yeah. I made have you ever made I got one right here. Tapping it. Clicking it with my finger next to the mic.
It's a pretty hard biscuit right now.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. Have you ever made peanut butter, biscuits?
I had some, but not much of a baker.
They're the easiest thing in the world to make. You get peanut butter. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Then you mix in some granulated, golden caster sugar.
Yeah.
Okay? You turn that into a ball of peanut butter and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to get one egg. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
One big egg.
Yeah.
Now, don't be funny and pick up an ostrich egg and then smash that.
Yeah, nice.
And then try and mix that in because that's
yeah.
going to be too wet. That's going to be way too wet. One big chicken egg. Okay?
Yeah.
Crack it. Put in there. Mix it up. Turn it into a greasy, oily dough.
Yeah.
Then you're going to break off little bits. Put them on a baking tray. Cook them for 12 minutes.
Nice. And is that what you did?
That's what I did because I had the vibe, I had the feeling of I want to bake something, but I don't want to do the whole thing of having a lot of washing to do afterwards, or buying a bunch of ingredients that I will use once and put in my cupboard and not use again for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's I'll make these as quick, easy, whatever. It will scratch that little itch that I have in my head.
Have you ever baked mayo cookies?
What?
Yeah, you can make cookies out of mayo.
Oh, mayo cookies.
Yeah.
I thought you said male cookies.
No, yeah, mayo cookies.
Mayo. Gingerbread man. You can make mayo cookies?
Yeah. Mayo has basically everything you need to make a dough. You just add sugar and shit to it, and then you cook it.
Well, that's pretty much what the peanut butter ones are as well, where it's the peanut butter has all the oil and shit that you need in them. You just need to add some sugar and add some egg, and then it's done.
You don't have to even add egg because...
Not with the mayo,
has egg.
Well, that's only got egg whites, though.
Yeah, that'll be enough.
And got egg yellows.
Biscuit.
Why do we call it egg yolk and egg whites? Why not egg yellow and egg white? I need more egg yellow.
Yeah, what is the yolk? What does yolk stand for? The word itself. Is it
Yolk.
center?
Your only lonely kind.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, what was the
this
catharsis
is
of your biscuit bit that you're doing right now?
The thing I was going to say is that it's interesting because by all counts, it's the kind of thing where you pick up and you kind of look at it and you feel it, and it's like a facsimile of a biscuit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's not real.
Yeah, because you're kind of I guess this is kind of a biscuit, but you inspect it closer and it's no, this is sort of a little greasier than a normal biscuit would be. And it's also more caramelized than a normal biscuit would be. Yeah. And then I maybe I just cooked them wrong, but then I go in and I eat one, and it has all three textures.
Yeah.
At the same at different stages, different intervals. So it's I try and bite a bit off, right? I'll do it live. And it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
They're like snaps, okay?
Yeah.
Then I start chewing and I'm oh no, wait, actually, it's crumbling up like a biscuit would.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. But then, after a few chews, you realize something's wrong here.
Yeah. But you've been skadoodled. You've been bamboozled by someone.
Yeah, it kind of becomes too much of a chewy paste.
Mm-hmm.
Comes all gummy, like a caramel.
It's like Evil Coop from Twin Peaks season 3. You know? It's
so
a facsimile of a man. Yeah? Go on.
So true. No, I said that's so true.
Yeah.
I was just finishing the biscuit.
I would imagine that the peanut butter biscuit is a lot less evil than a facsimile of a man that Evil Coop is, you know?
You'd think so. But no, I think these are evil. I think they're too lazy to be considered something productive to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or enriching.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, although I wanted to perform and succeed at the task of baking, I kind of didn't, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I went into a first-person shooter and I turned on an aimbot, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Or you just have a spin bot. Instead, you just don't even play the game, you just watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Win.
Well,
yeah.
In a way.
Even
where I'm like looking through the walls and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's, yeah.
So, I guess I'm going to have to bake again this weekend, but something normal and something that actually kind of has good quality to it.
Yeah. It's just like this podcast, you know? It's like
what?
On the edge of like being a real podcast. But when you bite into it, you suddenly go like, ugh, there's something not right here.
I'm not right here. They keep talking about Neelix's penis.
We haven't said that in
probably
about 20 episodes at this point.
I feel like we said it recently, offhandedly.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with the Neelix penis bit is that it's too... it's inexplicable.
It's got a good mouthfeel when you say it, that's why.
It does that too. But I meant more the issue with it whenever we bring it up, because it's so ingrained for us when we're talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because of how much we joked about it while watching it. But it's like, we can't come onto the podcast and recreate it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
We'll do a watch-along of Star Trek Voyager.
That would be fun.
With like no one else watching except for us, and then it turns out we're just watching Star Trek again.
We're just illegally streaming it online while thinking that we're doing something.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the footage, though.
Yeah,
and that's how it's like.
Do that thing where you like
creative license now.
Yeah, you do that thing where you like
transformative
vignette it.
Yeah,
and then somehow vignette it, flip it, like mirror it, and then every now and then like have the audio kind of weird. Yeah, and that just confuses all things.
But that's the thing: the human brain, so flexible, can see that Neelix penis right through that vignette. You know, through all those filters that are all over it. You know,
Max, I have breaking news.
Yeah.
This is breaking news. You are hearing this live for the first time from Dead Ensigns podcast. Hello and welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
no
Ben.
one knows.
This is Max.
Yes, that's me.
Usually we talk about Star Trek, but I'm bringing you some breaking news from Dexerto on Twitter.
We talked a little bit about Star Trek, at least.
The Office is reportedly getting rebooted.
Oh, okay.
They're going to reboot the American Office.
How are they going to do it? How are they going to do it with all the writers on strike?
No, they're not on strike anymore.
Oh, is it over?
Yeah, today.
Wow. It ended today.
This is the reason. This is what they came. This is what ended the strike. Is the big wigs came up and they said, "How about we make more The Office?" And the writers were like, "Oh, I want to write for that."
Yeah. They were like,
"I want to write Dunder Mifflin."
Like trying to step over each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a human avalanche.
They throw away all of the stuff about residuals on streaming shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you are going to make more Office? We're going to make more of The Office?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there was one writer was like, "Hey guys, you might want to see this," and then another writer came up to him, looked over his shoulder, and said, "Like, that just happened." That's what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think that's exactly what happened. They slid the piece of paper over. They think, oh, they've written down like a big number offer to sell this. Flip it over. The Office reboot. And they were like, here's our counter offer. And they wrote something on a slip of paper, sent it back to the studio executives. Executives flip it over. It just says, "Yes, please." The Office is reportedly being rebooted. This is like fresh news, and it's like, yeah, it's funny that this comes off the back of here's the thing, it's tentatively over.
Mm-hmm.
They have reached an agreement, but we don't know what the agreement is yet. So I think they're probably gonna, bring it to everybody. There's still the SAG stuff that needs to be sorted, but I don't know. As far as we're concerned,
they'll break
back.
too. It doesn't matter.
We're
all
back.
broke. Yeah,
Media's
we're back.
back.
Media's back. Although there'll be a drought for following few months of media creation in general as it catches back up, and everybody starts. When you're like working on a project and you kind of put it away for a while.
Yeah.
And you're like, come back to it after a while, and you're like, what the fuck was I even doing?
Mm-hmm.
All these notes like lost meaning because they were like
that's
in context.
That's why I think last year had a solid bunch of movies because it was like they were all the set of movies that felt like they were probably like too early in development when the pandemic started. They couldn't make any headway, whereas you have all those really shitty movies that the pandemic hit like right at the middle of filming or right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, fuck, what do we do? But all the movies last year, it felt like they had that extra year and a half to be like, all right, you know what, let's clean this up a bit.
Yeah.
Let's punch this up.
Well, I fucking...
Make it a bit better.
Wow. I was so high on cocaine when I was writing.
Stupid when I came up with... And then Lydia Tarr goes to the moon. What the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah,
no, she needs to play Monster Hunter in concert. The orchestra for Monster Hunter.
Yeah. I was going to use a fake game, but then I realized, why not use Monster Hunter?
Why not use an actual
about that game franchise.
It'd be much funnier if I use an actual franchise.
Yeah.
It's not always funnier when you use an actual franchise, but using an actual real product or franchise for a punchline is usually funnier than making up a fake thing.
Yeah.
It's the old Seinfeld thing of like, you could just have like a random non-existent candy fly into the guy's chest during surgery in Seinfeld, or Kramer could specifically drop a Thin Mint in there.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes it funny.
So much more cultural context.
It makes it feel more real.
Yeah, it could have happened.
He could just drop a peanut butter cookie that I made, or he could drop a Thin Mint.
Yeah. Jerry, I was baking in my house, and then as he runs through the door, the smoke comes behind him because he's been baking.
Jerry,
but then you realize he's been baking
cookies.
Yeah, he's been baking
I'm not good at cream.
peanut butter cookies that take 10 minutes to make, and they require 2 ingredients, right? Or 3 ingredients.
3. Come on.
And he fucked them up anyway, right? And then what's that set of that show that he had in his house? I don't remember the talk shows. And that's on fire now, or whatever, or whatever. And that's and then, but it is a lot better to just have a real kind of.
Just put a real name in. Who cares?
It anchors it in reality for us.
Here's some responses to The Office reportedly getting rebooted. Sulafi says, this is translated from Arabic via Google Translate on Twitter.
Okay.
It's a great series. There's no need to remake it. You know what? I agree.
Yeah, well, truth, basically.
This is from the Twitter Ronaldo fans. This is also in Arabic. It just says, now, ... semicolon.
What?
He followed it up with now, period.
Oh, okay.
And then another tweet that says period, comma, period, space, now, period.
So is it like now? Is he like waggling his finger
but it's like three separate tweets.
At us? Or is he saying like now?
Now.
Like,
oh wait,
like
I missed another one. He also
like
said now, period,
bud.
hyphen.
Oh, rosebud.
Now here's another thing. I am relying on the Google Translate via Twitter function to be working well.
Yeah,
but,
and I can
see
cross tweet translation, so there's maybe a context that's lost there.
I can see the Arabic. It looks very small. It looks like it is like one word in Arabic.
Okay.
So it might be now. But maybe it's one of those things where it's like the literal translation is now, but contextually it actually means more.
Yeah. When you put an ellipse, it means great.
This person says, Mark on Twitter says, hear me out. ... Him as the new Jim Halpert and his picture of Tom Holland. The Spider.
Oh, no.
Okay. You don't think Tom Holland is the new
Tom Holland
Jim Halpert?
I don't think he would. Has Tom Holland played in a show? He has played in shows, TV shows.
I think I know anything about that guy other than he is Spider-Man and Nathan Drake.
Yeah. But no, I disagree with him on this, to be honest.
You don't think he should be the new Jim Halpert? There's always one of these people, James Weston on Twitter says the UK version is better anyway. It's like,
it's always
buddy,
that
we
one.
know, but the American version objectively has a greater legacy.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you can't deny that.
Nobody gives a fuck about the UK version, to be honest.
I would rather watch the UK version again because it's shorter, so I don't have to watch as much boring crap. But it's not about what's better; it's about what has more legacy. Also, if they made another UK one with Ricky Gervais, I think that would be really, really bad, dude. That would be so bad.
He would be like hosting the Oscars again, and he would stand on the podium. He's like, and I'm recording The Office again, or whatever.
He'd be like,
this is better than any. And you think I'm making The Office is better than.
An office repo.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awful. Why did I do? I shouldn't have done that.
That sounded more like what is he called? The guy that everybody dislikes.
That's what Ricky
James
Gervais
Corden.
sounds like as well. They both laugh like that. That's why they're both incredibly obnoxious.
They spawned from the same like spawn, like
anybody,
like the thing that the frogs leave, and it's like a huge pile of like the spawn that they leave. And they all
a frog
come
spawn,
out of it. Yeah, they're the ones the strongest ones survived, and it became them.
Anybody's NFT on Twitter says this is going to be a huge W or a huge L, which is kind of the two states that something could be. Yeah, definitely. It could either be a win or a loss. Yes,
it's a pretty safe kind of opinion to have. Is that like you either be good or bad?
Shitlord says it won't be the same. That kind of humor is frowned upon now. The Office was
what? Yeah, you know what?
I think the reason why it was so popular is the fact that it was actually very edgeless.
Yeah, well, I think when I think of The Office, I think controversial.
I think controversy. I think, oh my god, how are they getting away with this?
I can't believe they've been putting blackface in every single episode.
This is ridiculous. I have only ever seen the Michael's Tots episode. So I know The Office really pushes the boundaries of what is acceptable on television.
Yeah, exactly. So it's frowned upon.
So I think Shitlord on Twitter has a point. Yeah, I don't think it will be the same. That kind of humor is frowned. Kind of want to look at this guy's Twitter.
No, don't say their name. Don't dox people.
It's how his username. How is it doxing? I'm not saying his name.
Just saying you should.
I literally said his username is Shitlord, dude. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. It's too late now, I guess. Shitlord. But yeah, so what else does he say? What other great opinions does he have?
Coverage play, so I stopped giving up free TDS trying to make adjustments. I think this dude really likes fantasy football, I think. And or Madden.
Okay. I've never played fantasy football, so I cannot be like, maybe if I tried it, maybe I would have liked it. So I'm gonna play safe. I'm safe. This guy could either be a big L or a big W. That's what I'm gonna say about Shitlord.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he could be a big W or a big L. Impossible to say until we see more. Which I am looking at more, and mostly it's kind of like, given the original reason why I clicked on this guy's profile being that he said that the kind of humor in The Office is frowned upon nowadays, I was expecting to see more stuff along that lines, but he's just mostly just tweeting about sports, so you know what?
All right,
Shitlord, go, chill, don't worry about it.
He comes out of his.
I mean, he's not chill.
He's
He's Twitter verified, which means he pays for Twitter Blue.
How do you know that?
Embarrassing.
Maybe he was verified before they.
No, they got rid of that. They don't do that.
Oh yeah,
and if they do have a legacy verification, it's yellow.
Oh, okay.
Well,
maybe he's been winning so much money in fantasy football, he can spend some on being Twitter verified.
Yeah.
But what else are people saying about The Office?
I think I'm done with that. I'm done.
Okay, you're done with that.
I mean, do you really want to just keep reading off tweets about people going, it will be the same. It will be really good. It will be just as bad. It will be really good now. The UK office is better.
Yeah, I could continue reading that. Why not? But yeah, I'm just thinking of like, how many seasons are they gonna make of this show now?
Probably
maybe
2.
That's the thing. That's why. That's why the strike finished is because the producers were like like the studio heads were like, all right, is the contract, and it said 1 million episodes on it.
Mate, probably.
So now every single writer
keep them in business for a while.
Yeah, it's like 1 million. Like every single writer in Hollywood will be able to be credited on the.
They said 1 million episodes, and every single writer in Hollywood at time of signing of this agreement gets to write at least one episode.
One episode, yeah.
They each get to write at least one.
I like the idea that they're like. They're releasing these episodes that they're making, and you as a writer on your deathbed, because it's been 50 years, because that's, there's a queue, of course, right? There's a reschedule, and your episode needed to wait 50 years to be actually made into an episode. And you die just before you see it. You don't get to see it.
And then everybody says it's the worst episode of The Office ever. Well, not even the worst. It's just like it's kind of a nothing episode, forgettable.
Yeah, exactly. People
getting a text there, buddy. Getting a phone call or something.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, it's just
I heard that
random work notification because
only other thing I was gonna say is
I'm off the clock.
Within the last hour,
there
was look. We don't need to get too into it. But within the last hour, there was a trailer for the new Rick and Morty season. Justin Roilandless.
Yeah, they changed the voice for him and stuff.
This is the thing. They've got new voice guys for him.
Yeah.
Morty sounds a little bit different, but they just sound exactly like it. I mean, it's not like they're incredibly hard voices to do, I suppose, but it's crazy how they were just like, let's find the closest, let's find one of those guys on YouTube that does Rick in Call of Duty lobby videos and just pay him to be Rick.
Yeah, it's like actually doing a voice isn't that hard in the end,
Especially if it's a voice
not even doing a voice,
built on
finding
laziness.
Someone with a particular voice, is not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just they didn't have, they just had Justin Roiland, so they might as well use him, right? Because they don't pay him. Do you think they paid him for voices, like to do the voice acting?
Yeah,
too?
of course.
Yeah,
because once you start doing a voice, then you become an actor on the show.
Yeah,
and then you get, that you get all of the like voice acting, SAG-AFTRA sort of shit.
Voice. Yeah. So, but yeah, why give someone else a job that while you can just take it? You can just do all the jobs.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that happens in cartoons a lot, is that the creator will be the voice of a character. Because, I mean, a lot of the time it will be like, the creator is doing the show from beginning to end,
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're coming up with the idea from the get-go, so they kind of have an idea of how the character will act, how they're written, and how they'll be. And sometimes they just kind of hit on that early on. They're like, I can do it. I can do it.
I'm invincible. I'm invincible.
Nobody will ever bring down
wrong.
me, Justin Roiland.
Yeah, no one is going to kick me out of the show. I'm doing Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Nobody can ever do my voice.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, Rick. Oh, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
Morty.
Yeah.
I'm unstoppable. I'm just Roiland. I'm on top of the world.
Yeah, and I can beat the shit out of anyone I want, even a woman. And
too much.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like that's the thing. You create something and it becomes popular. And
Max, say allegedly now. Say it was alleged.
Allegedly,
you got acquitted for it. Remember?
Allegedly,
you get in trouble for that if you say it like that.
But it was a parody or whatever. Allegedly, yeah. So that's the thing. It's like you make that. You make that show. You make that voice, and then you start like disassociating from normal people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm making art for peasants, for the masses, right? So I'm elevated.
For the serfs.
The rules don't apply to me anymore because I make burp noises with my mouth when I talk.
Because I burp and talk about poopy butthole and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I am entitled to prima noctis.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, sometimes it ends up in the realm of like, Justin Roiland. It usually creates some problem though, because the person who makes the show, they might be like a good voice actor, but they might not have a lot of range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you kind of like, as the show goes on and they start doing more like voices here and there, you're like, this is like a slight variation on the other character that you do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just funny when you get stuff like, Rick and Morty.
Opposites.
Solar Opposites and stuff, where it's
Solar Opposites.
Justin Roiland does like 2 voices and that's it.
Yeah.
But then you have stuff like The Venture Bros, where every character is, one, written as a duo, basically, a comedy duo. Every character has like a pair that they go, another character that they go up against with their comedy. And 2, both of those characters are always pretty much always voiced by either Doc Hammer or Jackson Public. So you really get a sense of like, they just wrote this show and were bouncing these lines off of each other and writing it as they do it, and that's why every other scene is 2 characters talking about a pop culture reference. And it's funny, don't get me wrong, I like it, but it's funny.
Not anymore though, because it got cancelled and the creators got killed.
I rewatched that movie recently.
The Venture Bros movie.
Radiant.
To feel something just before
the blood of the baboon heart. I enjoyed it more the second time. I think the first time I was kind of had this impression
because you were older. So you got more of those like adult references.
Yeah, right? I was an extra month and a half older, so I kind of like had a bit more wisdom going into it.
Yeah.
But no, just generally I was kind of like not going in with the sort of like how's it all gonna wrap up kind of thing, and just kind of getting that like, no, it's a good ending. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a very well I think the only complaint is that you can see the stitched together the season that it would have been, you know?
Right, okay.
You can kind of see the story beats that have been, or the storylines and stuff that have been condensed into an hour and a half alongside all the other ones. Which I think does hurt it a bit, but overall it's a good send off. I still need to watch the Metalocalypse one that they quietly fucking released in the background, which doesn't bring me a lot of hope, but you know, they just kind of were like, we'll do a Metalocalypse final movie too, I guess. Which I gotta be honest, even though I like Venture Bros more, Venture Bros is a better show. I was more interested and excited in the Metalocalypse one because it's been like 11 years since they last did the last Metalocalypse special.
Yeah.
And that left on a big cliffhanger to be like, all right, we're going to do the big finale next time. And then and then it was like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're not making one of these. Nobody watched the last one. We're gonna... Yeah. No way. Well, I need to check that out. I'm going to check that out.
You know, that's...
Max, how was your week?
It's been alright. I've been playing fucking Starfield.
You've been a real Starfield idiot?
I've been a Star Fiend.
A Star Fiend? That's better. You know what? That's better.
Yeah. I thought you were going to make that joke, but then you didn't.
No, I kind of, I kind of did.
Yeah. Anyway. I've been enjoying it a bit more now, especially with like being able to kind of play it in my own pace. Are you in my own computer, my own house? Are
you in the sunk cost fallacy period that every other player of that game gets into, where they have to just be like, actually, it's really good. I've played it for 35 hours, and you know what? It's like quite good once you get to this point.
No. Like, that's the thing. It's weird because, like, the way I played that game, it's like, you know, when you play RPGs in general, you tend to kind of, like, do the side quests first, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, like, following the main line.
Because usually you progress the mainline story and then you get locked out of side quests.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're like,
something like that.
First while I'm here, and then I'll level up a bit more.
That's the thing. Is that like the world is so huge in Starfield, like the kind of worlds you have available to you, that like they can just kind of exist as their own little like thing, right? Like in Star Trek, right? Because they just like you fly to a planet and go like, these people need help.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever.
There's a fucked up moral quandary happening on this planet.
Moral quandary happening in this planet.
How do you deal with it?
It's like beam me up, Scotty.
There's a fucked up moral quandary where 1% of this planet's population are brutally slaughtering and eating the other 99% of people on of the population of this planet. But if they don't do this, then the whole planet explodes and everybody dies.
Yeah.
So maybe it's good that they do it. What do you do? Huh? How do you feel?
Exactly. If you change the status quo, maybe maybe
everything falls apart.
If everything falls apart, and then all the people that have been eaten for years, all those numbers counted up, will be for nothing.
Yeah.
So we have to continue doing it.
Keep doing
but
it
would
be wrong to the people who have died by the cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly.
If the future people didn't die by cannibalism.
If
And that's why there should be there shouldn't be any free university tuition, because there are a bunch of people already paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the people,
and all the people that have already been we have like this machine that brings back people from the afterlife to tell people that are still here that it's okay. That they're eating.
It's called the holodeck.
What
you do is you go on there and you say, computer, load forgiving deceased relative.
Yeah, exactly.
And they load it up and they say, I forgive you. And then you go, oh, that's a load of weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, exactly,
Back to
It's actually
back
a
to
man wearing a sheet over his head saying it, but,
It's Riker.
But,
he goes,
I've been playing a lot more of, like, the main kind of quest lines, like, not, like, like faction quest lines, I guess you could call them, and they're pretty good. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed doing them a lot more than a lot. Like it does feel a lot more polished than like the side questy stuff. Although there are some good side quests that I did, but like it did feel kind of like, you know, they actually tried a lot more with these, you know? And I enjoyed the, you know, the concepts and the things that they were brought up through the quests and kind of the things that you had to do for them. They introduced some like little, you know, like particular type of quests, or like the stories were pretty cool. And like, yeah, I don't know, it's just, I think I kind of made a mistake putting those away, you know, for too long, you know? Because they do actually are pretty good, you know, and doing like going onto a shithole planet and expecting some guy to have like this insane dilemma, to be honest, is kind of unrealistic, you know. Although it happens, you know, but like not all the time, you know. Expect someone to give you a quest that will span hours, you know, some random farmer or some random planet, you know. He just tells you, bring me some turnips. And you're like, all right, will do, sir. And then you do it, you know, because you've been programmed by the game to do it. You know,
man wants turnips.
Yes. Yeah, man wants turnips. And then he gives you like, and then you realize, oh, it's actually, you come back. It's not the same man. And he's like, thank you for the turnips. And you're like, what's going on here? What's going on? Why is this quest? What's going on? And it turns out it's a bug in the game or something like that, you know, and it just switched its model. Yeah.
It's like in Cyberpunk early on when there'd be a guy there, turn around, he's turned into a chair.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you planning on playing Cyberpunk now that 2.0 update is out?
I'll get back to it at some point.
I don't know if that, like, I don't know if I would consider it 2.0, to be honest, because I guess you could say 2.0, because it adds stuff. Like, I'm just thinking in terms of, like, software development and how that works, you know, but, like, I guess you could do that. You could do that major version change.
I'm now in the stretch of Baldur's Gate 3. Here's why I don't think I'm going to play Cyberpunk for a while. I'm in the stretch of Baldur's Gate 3 that I was in near the end of Elden Ring as well, where I keep thinking, I probably have only got like a week of this game left.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to keep saying that every week for the next like 5 weeks.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I'll be done.
But, you know, we know that Chris, our friend, has finished it recently. So if he started around the same time you did, so you might think. Now,
Chris, here's the thing though. I have 2 games at the same time.
Ah, you're right.
I have a multiplayer game, and I have my single-player game. And Chris only has a single-player game, and he probably doesn't even read the dialogue. He probably like click, 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 click.
The writing's so good.
He's like, oh, I love this game. Click, 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 click.
I love the writing in this game. I love the characters.
Typing in optimal build to finish game quick. Click, 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 click. Game of the year. Click, 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 click. Oh, battle didn't go my way. Reload.
Yeah.
Save every turn. Save every dice roll.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click. I'm kidding. He's probably having fun. He's probably playing it like a real person.
Like a real man. Like not a facsimile of a man, but a real man.
Also, I just take a while. I'm just slow. I'm just
you're a slow reader.
I play like an hour or 2 a day at this point, as opposed to back when I first started playing it, and I was like, every waking moment, I was like, how do I optimize the amount of time I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3? Now I've slowed down. I'm not in the point where I'm like, oh, I just want this game to be over, but I am at the point where I'm like, I'll play like an hour and a half or 2, and I'll be like, all right, now I feel like doing something else. You know?
Yeah.
And that something else now is Party Animals, because let me tell you, I'm having a lot of fun in that game.
Yeah.
That game is very silly. It's a silly game.
You're becoming a MLG party animal street.
I'm becoming so pro at that game, dude. Dude, there are so many like little things and stuff. Like if you're holding somebody,
mechanics.
Yeah, if you're holding somebody and you're trying to throw them out, usually you just be holding right trigger to like pick them up with both hands, and then you press the X button to throw them. But the real tech is you want to like hammer throw them because you get way more momentum.
Momentum, yeah.
You just like do a quick spin and then you let go as you're going into the direction you want to throw them, and you throw them way further.
Yeah.
You want to like running punches are really good. You know,
it's always those those small games. With little mechanics.
Or the physics based games.
Yeah,
because there's all sorts of, although it's simple, there's all sorts of different scenarios that can come up.
Yeah, because you can play with the physics. You realize, this is just like an extension of my body now. It's not just a character in a video game that follows a certain, like a fighting game, right? Where you cycle these inputs, right? Here you gotta like actually think.
Yeah, it's not like those games where you just kind of like slam on buttons. You just do your optimal like, your optimal like flow chart.
Yeah, exactly. No.
There's no B&Bs because there's no room for B&Bs. You just got to be in the moment. You got to be animalistic. You got to think about the physics.
It's
a smarter game. It's a smarter game for smarter people.
It's like piloting an Ava,
it's kind of like piloting or like a mobile suit or something.
Yeah, like a mobile suit. Yeah.
Now the big thing I like about it, because I remember playing it a few years ago, like a year or two ago, when they had when they had the public
demo
test of it, and I remember it being fun, having a lot of fun doing all the little like battle games and stuff that they have in it, which they have way more of now, and they're all very enjoyable. I think they go on a bit too long, but they are enjoyable. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. Now they've added the thing, where if you get knocked out, you can start throwing shit at people in the game still.
Oh, you're like a ghost. You become
you get like CCTV camera. You can see the whole battlefield, and you get like a little crosshair, and you just aim it at guys and just throw like pancakes at them.
Yeah,
and if you hit them on the head, it knocks them out.
Yeah, and that can't be abused by players.
No, it's so fun, dude. It's the ultimate BM is that you get knocked out, and then you see the guy who knocked you out struggling to climb back up on the stage, and you just aim your little crosshair over him, shoot a fucking pancake, and he falls into a pit, and it's like, bitch, now neither of us won. Fuck you. It's so fun. Nothing feels better, honestly.
But if you're honorable, then you don't.
If you're honorable, then you're not going to probably enjoy the game, because the game lacks any honor whatsoever. It's because it's like there are so many instances where you like knock somebody out, go to throw him off the edge, and then some other guy comes in and knocks you out and then starts trying to throw you off the edge. And it's like, buddy, if you just stood back and waited like 1 second, there'd be one less guy to deal with. But now you're trying to pick me up, and the guy I was carrying gets up, and now he's attacking you.
Oh,
there's no honor in that game, dude. That's what makes it so fun.
Yeah, so you're going to finish Baldur's Gate, and then you're going to play Party Animals.
Then I'm going to become a Party Animals professional.
Right? You're going to get plat and Party Animals.
Yeah, I'm going to get platinum. And because it's like early on, and they want people to stick around for when the microtransactions like actually get bad.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They give you so much free shit right now. It's like usually in a game, right? Usually in one of these like live service games.
Yeah.
The main cosmetic or whatever, like skins in Fortnite, for example.
Yeah.
You want to get a skin, you either buy it with real money, or you buy the battle pass and you get it through the battle pass. In this game, you can buy it with in-game currency, paid in-game currency, which they give you stuff of in the free battle pass. You can buy it with the in-game free currency, which they give you during the battle pass and from weekly challenges. You can get skins from achievements in the game, so just like doing certain things.
Just like nostalgia. Remember when you got the recon armor?
For
from
real,
doing
dude. For real,
the,
it's exactly like that.
the challenges in Halo 3. Remember?
It's like, oh, do something specific during this minigame. And they're the kind of things, well, I'll get into it in a second. So you can get stuff like that. And you can also just get them from, like, weekly challenges. They're, like, throwing skins at you at the moment.
Yeah.
It's fun. But, and that's the other thing with the achievement ones, is that hard to get in a quick match, because you got to be really specific. But you can also get them in private lobbies with your friends.
Okay.
So if you want a fucking golden doggy skin, just be like, hey, you want to just make a private lobby and get it quickly?
Hey, you want to you want to boost? You want to
immediately.
boost on Modern Warfare 3? Do you want
You
to
can
boost
boot, dude.
levels?
You get online, you get battle pass experience from private lobbies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like slightly less, but you still get it.
Yeah.
So no matter what, they're like just throwing shit at you.
Yeah. If you get those
It feels
skins,
good.
it's like a facsimile of a man or a cookie. Yeah.
I'm not
you get it
gonna
that
lie. I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't feel good. Is it probably gonna overall lead to like them like sinking their hooks into the whales once they like flip it and they're like, all right, now you get nothing.
Yeah.
All right, you've had all of the really really low price heroin. Now you have to pay more for it. Is that gonna be bad? Definitely, but in this moment, it feels good, and I feel pretty confident when it gets to that point. I'm probably going to be like, all right, I'm done with partying animals. Because it's the same thing that happens with all those games for me. It's like I could do it up to a point, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I feel confident in my ability to not wail on things, you know?
Mm-hmm. You got that resistance built up. What's the worst thing you would do for a skin?
What's the worst thing I would do for a skin?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the game.
Yeah, like your favorite game of all time.
Honestly, the worst thing I would do is
I could get a skin in this fighting game because I love fight. Because I'm Ben, I love fighting games. I could get skin for my favorite fighting character.
I think the worst thing I would do is pay real money for a gacha to get a skin. But
it has to be something outside the world, like outside the game. You have to do something.
So like a
the
real thing, like a murder kind of thing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Worst thing I would do, i.e., murder, whatever, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
What's the worst thing I would do? I don't think I would. I don't think I would.
And people would think people would think that like you're playing with them, and they will be like, "This guy is like cool."
Okay, real answer. Real answer? I don't know. Probably do like a questionnaire or something.
Oh, okay.
And then be like, fill out this form and get a skin. I'll be like,
you have to.
All right, I'll do that.
You have to message. You have to sign a contract and send it to the head office of the game studio, and they send back a mission for you. You know, sort of thing.
Now, dude,
and
the reason why I know,
and you can't say no because then you already signed the contract.
You're saying
basically.
I would be Yes Man from the book and movie of the same name, Yes Man?
Yes, you would be Yes Man.
Well, it depends on the skin. If I'm getting, like, some shitty skin from something I don't care about or a design that looks like shit, no way. But if you're
it's like perfect.
Ben, this is your way of getting the only classic Mobile Suit Gundam skin in all of Fortnite, I'd be like, whatever you say, boss.
Yeah. And
Tell me I can get the fucking... You can give me Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam.
Yeah. Are you still watching Gundam?
I haven't for a while because
I'm playing Baldur's Gate, yeah.
That and also ZZ was kind of weird. A little boring. And the annoying thing is not so much the actual story of ZZ or anything.
Yeah.
But because the one that I'm watching has like fan subs, the fan subs are not very good. Taking a lot of embellishments. Like, I don't think they wrote that that he was calling that dude the R-slur. I don't think they wrote it like that. I think you maybe just embellished a bit. I don't think they were calling each other the F-slur in when they were writing this in the 80s. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know about this fan. Not even in like a I'm offended kind of way. I'm just like, kind of just taking me out of it.
Yeah,
guys, so they write in like no homo, and I'm like, Come on, man. They weren't saying no homo.
Yeah.
Or they weren't saying no homo back then.
Maybe you're watching like a parody dub of the fucking Gundam.
No, it's just
like
the
that.
one that's on with the other ones that I was watching.
Ah, okay.
Also, there was a character that was very entertaining and fun, and they kind of wrote him out for the last like 10 episodes. And I kind of was like, whatever.
You lost your anchor. You lost your the only thing that you were watching that
anyway,
show for.
I wanted to say I already know my limit. I already had a limit point for skin, the thing I would do for a skin in a game.
Yeah.
And do you remember in Overwatch 1 when they were like, oh, you can get this special diva skin if you play Heroes of the Storm for like 5 hours. I played like an hour and a half of it, and like a fucking switch flipped in my head, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Genuinely, like, what am I doing right now? I think I was playing it with like Stu and Phil and stuff, and we're all complaining because we're like, oh, I can't believe they're making us play this shitty MOBA for a skin, and it's like something just clicked after we stopped, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing this for like a diva skin? No thanks. And then since then, I feel like I've never had an urge to like try for diva skins or anything.
Yeah,
I've never had an urge to look up diva sorts of make a porn, something just happened. I changed.
You were just playing it, and you were like, wait a minute. It just opens Google up, and it's diva rule for A4. Wait a minute.
I'm not attracted to this character enough to do this.
Oh yeah, of course.
No.
How dare you say that? Everyone's attracted
to
diva.
I'm playing Heroes of the Storm, and it was like such a boring game.
I
didn't know anything about Activision Blizzard characters, so I didn't give a single fuck about any of it. I was just like, fuck, man, why am I doing this? Stop.
I can't wait for a Star Trek MOBA.
They're not making a Star Trek MOBA. Who would you have in the Star Trek MOBA? What's the gimmick of the Star Trek MOBA? What's the gimmick of the Star Trek MOBA? Yeah.
Is that somehow you're flying ships at the same time, but you're also fighting. I don't know. I'm a bit
trying
lost
very
there.
hard with this one.
I'm not trying really hard, but I feel like a lot of people that make MOBAs nowadays, a lot of studios don't really try really hard.
I mean, that could be a good gimmick, is that it's like, oh yeah, you choose 2 characters essentially. You choose like a captain with her own abilities and a ship with its own abilities.
Yeah.
So you have like a kind of mix and match builds.
Yeah.
That could be fun, and then it's more like a... Yeah, it's like you have these little tiny fleet ships flying out and battling each other, and then you're the big fucking flagships and stuff.
Starfleet, yeah. Your starship, yeah. And it says at the end, like the body count of how many people died in the current encounter. It says,
and
like,
it shows an image, like in PS1 games when they would have screenshots of TV shows and stuff. It'd be like that quality, but it'd be the image of Cisco in front of the front of the board of names.
Yeah, it's sliding. It's sliding.
Yeah.
He's like, today
like
we have
randomly
lost.
generated Star Trek names all in random order. That'd be
John
pretty cool.
Johnson.
That'd be pretty
awesome.
Cool. That'd be
now we
sick.
came up with a good idea. Fuck.
What do you mean you came up with a good idea? You said that your entire contribution was, I don't know, you're in a ship, I guess.
I guess that's not enough. It's I'm
in charge. This is my idea. I commandeered
it. And it just starts building up on my foundation that I built, and then goes, "Oh, what do you mean my idea? What do you mean your idea?" Yeah, sure.
You fucking cut down the tree, and now you think you're entitled to the house.
Yeah, of course.
Bullshit.
Without me, you wouldn't have what you're fucking. Well, you're some fucking bourgeoisie bitch right here.
Mac, are you gonna go on strike?
I'm the means of the production.
Max on strike.
I'm gonna go on strike. I'm gonna go on strike. I'm not gonna edit this episode. I'm gonna.
Dude, that'd be funny if you went on strike and then it was just like 2 weeks of us talking outside of the podcast, and then every week I'd release an hour of me just being like, so. Max is still on strike, and
yeah.
I don't know what to do. So
it's just raw audio with no intro, no outro, no nothing. Just you like wandering around and like recording yourself. You cooking, and you can hear like the plates and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, I'm fine."
It's week 5. Max is still on strike. He's refusing to record or edit the podcast. And I guess, I don't know, I'm kind of running out of bits and ways to kill time, so I thought maybe I'd try doing Star Trek song parodies.
So I had this idea.
I don't want to live with Cisco. He's really mad about the changelings in Starfleet.
Yeah.
So, I said Max I would start paying him, and he still wasn't into the idea.
It's about respect, Ben. That's why I said to him when I had my leaflets in my hands, because I'm handing out leaflets, of course.
Yeah, you're like picketing outside of my flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell no, I won't edit. Hell no.
Hell no. Yeah.
I won't edit.
Yeah.
I won't edit.
You know. Yeah, and then you're like, then you slide a contract and it says The Office reboot, and I'm like,
Office fan podcast, and you're like, don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I
and then we're back, and then we're back in business.
We're back.
We're back in business.
Be back, baby.
Good to be back.
Yeah, I like the idea of like recording, and clearly that you're playing Baldur's Gate while recording.
I'm
you
trying
can hear,
to
like clicks of your mouse.
I'm like trying to get scabs and stuff. Like, so if there's any independent editors and guests who want to be on, I can pay you a good wage. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Anytime now. And they're trying to like get into my flat, and you're like picketing them. You're like, don't cross the line.
I'm body blocking them.
I'm like,
you try to call the police to get them to like.
I call the Pinkertons.
The Pinkertons.
Call the Pinkertons to come and deal with you. It's a whole thing. And then at the end, we start doing our Office fan podcast, and we're talking about Jim and Dwight and Pam.
Jim and how he can be played by who the fuck? Tom Holland. Yeah, and I'm like, this is such a great idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Max.
I wish I built that foundation so we could have built upon that.
Yeah, see,
and
that's
not
the thing.
Some Twitter user.
That's the thing.
And
I start dialing back.
Yeah.
I start dialing back all of my building ideas on top of your bare bones things, comments. And all of a sudden, we've got no ideas anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I'm just like, I won't build on this, otherwise Max will go on strike again.
Yeah, and it kills innovation, and then you realize strikes are bad, and that's the message of this bit: is that you shouldn't go out striking, and you should actually be happy.
You should actually
that
be
you
content.
have the job that you do right now.
Be content.
And I'm very happy that I have this, which is editing this podcast.
Here's the thing: I bet that would have made a good slogan for the studio execs and stuff.
What?
They could have said, be content making content. Yeah? That would have been pretty catchy.
I feel like someone would get shot for that, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, they would have. And then there would be one less studio exec in the world. So I don't understand why you're saying this like it's a bad thing. Max, I have an update.
Yeah?
You already know this, obviously, since you have...
Oh, yeah, of course. So we got to update the viewers.
Update on us being on the Star Trek cruise as guests, okay?
Yeah. Don't say the name.
I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
But I will say that this person is with Entertainment Cruise Productions. Just to go over, like, the urgency with which this person replied to the email. This is within 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This person emailed me, or us, I should say. Hi, Ben. I've passed this along to the executive team. Regards, the guy that said it.
Name.
And I think we're in. I think they're deliberating.
Yeah.
But I mean, how quickly this guy got back to us, I'm just like, fuck, dude.
Good at his job, you know?
See. If we haven't heard anything back next week, we'll send a follow-up, just saying, hey, where are we at? Great to hear back from you so quickly, but...
We were busy. Sorry, we couldn't have responded to your previous
we were busy
email
making
acknowledgement.
Busy making another hit episode.
Yeah. And I can't. No, it's so fucking stupid. Yeah. We'll continue our campaign of trying to get on the boat with all of our dear viewers,
all of our dear listeners, and the real people that make this podcast, the staff, the actors and crew of Star Trek. You know.
Yeah.
Without them, this show wouldn't exist.
Neelix Penis wouldn't have existed.
We wouldn't have Neelix Penis. We wouldn't have all of the great funny jokes like, what if a symbiote in a symbiote in a guy was like, I'm really horny or something. All those great jokes.
My mother hung herself, you know.
Or my mother hung herself, you know. That great one is unique to us. Nobody else is ever joking about that line.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we just want to give thanks to Patrick Stewart, called Meanie.
Odo,
Frakes,
the character, not
the character
Odo.
And the rest.
The computer voice.
Computer lady, who was originally Gene Roddenberry's wife, I think, for a bit.
Nepotism much, eh?
Yeah, hold on, Gene. Well, what, not enough hard-working voice actors out there for you, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, tune in next time for a follow-up on us being on the Star Trek cruise. Either we'll be here, good news, we're on, or we gotta push a little more.
Yeah.
It's fine either way, I think.
We gotta play hardball.
We gotta just push a little more, be like, hey, checking in. What's going on?
Maybe withdraw some of the things.
Yeah, maybe be like, or maybe be like, you know what? We might want to speed this up because we could be getting other offers.
Or maybe we could. Maybe we're gonna have to pull back a little. Be like, you know,
we're in.
Maybe not 500. Okay, not $500 of casino credit.
Maybe like 250.
How about 250?
And act quick because we're getting calls from the Tulsa King cruise. They want to know soon.
It is amazing that they're doing it in Tulsa too. The cruise.
They're doing the cruise in Tulsa. It's like a river cruise. Along the rivers of the rivers of Oklahoma. How many rivers are in Oklahoma? Hold on. I'm gonna look up a map of rivers in Oklahoma. Is it Tulsa's Oklahoma? Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Oklahoma rivers.
American geography, that made up country.
Yeah, true. Alright, I'm looking at maps. Oklahoma rivers. There's a good amount. None of them are really very connected to each other. Which could pose a problem.
Yeah, just circles. You just go around.
Just go around like a small.
You spin in place.
Here's the cruise. Here's the cruise line. Okay, we're starting in. I'm trying to get a bigger version of this. There we go. All right, here's the cruise line. Okay, we're starting. On Beaver River. Going down to Optima Lake. From there, we're going down river. Okay. What? Down into past the Wolf Creek River. Down the North Canadian River. Yeah. And we're gonna end up in Canton Lake. So we're gonna head down river, unnamed. Gonna follow that all the way down to Eufaula Lake. Alright.
Yeah.
And now that heads up to the Robert S. Kerr Reservoir. Then we're gonna head up there over to the Fort Gibson Lake.
Yeah.
That then goes up to Neosho Lake River. Lake? One or the other. And then that's when we end up at Grand Lake of the Cherokees. That's where it finishes off. That's near Tulsa.
That's where That's when where Dwight General has got a casino because it's on Native American land. Yeah,
Dwight the General Manfredi. we disembark there and go to Tulsa itself, and we go to that point where there's no sound. Do you remember that? The no sound point?
Oh yeah, of course.
We use like yelling it, and nobody outside of the thing can hear you because of the way that like benches are set up or whatever. Anyway, look forward to that. If there's no
I like the
Star
idea
Trek cruise.
of we going to have to get an actual boat. Like we're gonna have to organize it, and we'll try to go down that unnamed river. It turns out it's a stream, and we're like, no,
fuck.
And we're like Fitzcarraldo, we're getting everyone to like carry the boat across.
To roll the boat down. People start chopping down trees and clearing them of branches because we're using those to roll the boat along. Right.
My Tulsa King.
We're going Viking here. We're going Nordic, and we're rolling the boats along the land. Okay, come on.
Yeah,
let's go.
Well,
anyway, thanks for listening.
It'll be an adventure.
It will be an adventure, and just like that, we're gonna have an adventure for the rest of the week in our own lives, because that's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening to Den Ensigns. I've been Ben, and this is Max. Check out the Twitter, check us out on YouTube, leave a comment, email denensons@gmail.com, and yeah, bye.
Bye.
It's shorted out, sir. We're gonna have to phaser it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Right away, sir.
Faster would be better, Ensign.
I can't, sir. We don't want to...
That's enough.
But, sir...
Stand aside, Carlton. I'm going through. You're alive. Good.